Do you want your orchids to bloom just in time for the new year, with healthy plants, green leaves, and vibrant long-lasting flowers? Today, I will reveal all the secrets to orchid care and a perfect fertilizer formula for the right time, helping your plants bud and bloom beautifully for the new year, lasting a long time. Just follow these steps correctly, and you'll see a noticeable difference right before the new year. Before you is a pot containing 3 orchid plants, and the most important thing right now is proper care to ensure optimal results, healthy roots, thick leaves, and sufficient vigor for flowering. If done correctly, the plants will stabilize quickly and bloom at the right time. First, I will use pruning shears to trim all damaged, rotten, and old roots that are no longer able to absorb nutrients. If the tree has weeds growing on it, we should also remove them. Leaving these parts will weaken the plant and make it susceptible to fungal diseases. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to support me and so you don't miss any orchid care tips. It's great to have you as a companion on this journey. Therefore, before fertilizing and caring for the orchid, we should water the roots and the entire growing medium thoroughly with clean water. A very important note: always water the plant about 15 minutes before fertilizing. The purpose of this step is to awaken the entire root system and cells of the orchid. When the roots are moistened, the cells begin to function again, and the ability to absorb nutrients will be much stronger and more efficient. If you fertilize when the roots are dry, the plant will not only absorb nutrients poorly but also be prone to root shock and root burn. Besides English, we now have voiceovers in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on the settings gear icon to select the appropriate audio language. After watering, observe the water flowing through the growing medium. If the water is clear and clean, it indicates that the growing medium is still good, the roots are well ventilated, and the care will be highly effective. Conversely, if the water flowing out is cloudy, it is a sign that the growing medium is dirty, contains old fertilizer residue or pathogens, and the care will not be effective. After checking, remove the orchid pot from the tray and let the plant drain naturally. Next, the main ingredient I use is green tea. Dried tea leaves as a nutrient solution for orchids. Green tea is very good for orchids, possessing mild antibacterial and antifungal properties, while also providing active ingredients that help the plant recover and grow steadily. Take 1 teaspoon of green tea and add it directly to the container. Then, pour in about 500 milliliters of boiling water. The hot water will help release all the nutrients in the green tea, resulting in a strong nutrient-rich tea solution ready for use in subsequent orchid care steps. After adding boiling water, stir the green tea solution well to dissolve the tea and begin releasing its nutrients. Next, cover tightly to retain heat and preserve the active ingredients in the tea. Then, cover with a clean cloth and let the green tea steep for about 1 hour. Next, we'll use bread as a nutrient for the orchid. Bread is high in B vitamins, along with important minerals like potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen, which are excellent for the recovery and growth of orchids. Instead of throwing away leftover bread from daily life, we'll reuse it. Weigh out approximately 20 grams of breadcrumbs. This is enough for 1 use. Then, put all the breadcrumbs into a container and pour in boiled filtered water to soften the bread and begin releasing nutrients, preparing it for the next step of incubating and caring for the orchids. Next, add about 1/4 teaspoon of dry bread yeast. This amount is just enough to activate the fermentation process helping to release more nutrients beneficial to the orchid. Then stir the mixture well so that the dry yeast dissolves completely in the water without clumping. Once stirred, cover tightly and let the mixture rest for about an hour. After an hour of steeping, our green tea extract is complete, and the nutrients in the tea have dissolved into the water. At this point, do not use it directly. Filter out all the tea leaves to ensure the solution is pure. Next, prepare a clean container or bottle and filter the green tea again thoroughly, removing all remaining sediment. Once the water is clear and free of residue, we will have a jar of pure, nutrient-rich green tea that is safe for orchids. Next, we pour out a cup of filtered green tea. Then, prepare a soft, clean, and fine cotton ball. Gently dip the cotton ball into the green tea, allowing it to absorb the nutrients evenly. Next, gently take the orchid out and proceed to wipe the leaves. We carefully wipe both the top and bottom surfaces of the leaves. The top surface helps remove dust and dirt, while the bottom is where mold and bacteria often reside and needs careful cleaning. When wiped with green tea, the orchid leaves will be cleaner, more breathable, reducing fungal diseases and helping the plant photosynthesize better. This is a very important step in the care process, helping the orchid to be healthy and grow steadily. After wiping all the leaves, we place the orchid outside, preparing it for the next care steps. Next, we continue wiping the orchid leaves. With this care method, wiping the leaves every 2 weeks will keep them clean, significantly improving photosynthesis and metabolism, thus helping the orchid grow healthier and stronger. Wiping the leaves with green tea water also helps heal insect bites and prevents mold from adhering to the leaf surface. After proper care, the orchid leaves will turn green again, with stable and healthy colors. During the wiping process, orchid leaves often accumulate a lot of dust, so the cloth must be washed clean, wrung out, and then used to wipe each leaf until completely clean. In this way, we have cleaned the entire surface of the orchid leaves, removing accumulated dust. After this leaf wiping step, we will move on to the next step, which is spraying nutrients to help the plant absorb them better and develop steadily. Next, prepare a spray bottle. Then, scoop the nutrient solution, specifically the brewed green tea, into the bottle. On the Blissful Garden channel, you can also find many ways to make homemade organic fertilizers from familiar kitchen ingredients. These are not only cost-effective but also help plants grow sustainably. In this step, we spray directly onto the orchid plant, evenly covering the entire leaf surface, both upper and lower, to allow the plant to absorb nutrients better. Proper spraying helps keep the leaves clean and healthy, increases photosynthesis, and limits fungal diseases and insect pests. Spray gently and evenly, avoiding overspraying. This ensures the orchid receives adequate nourishment while remaining safe, promoting stable growth and strong development. Next, we spray directly onto the orchid leaves. Spray the upper surface to wash away all the dirt and dust. The underside is where mold, bacteria, and insects often reside, so it must be thoroughly cleaned. When we spray correctly, the orchid leaves are washed clean of dirt, bacteria, and mold. The leaf surface is more breathable, and photosynthesis is significantly increased. After about an hour, the breadcrumbs had absorbed water and undergone a slight fermentation, which is ideal for use in orchid care. At this point, I stirred the mixture well, then filtered out all the solids, keeping only the lightly fermented bread liquid. Next, I strained this liquid and mixed it with green tea, then filtered it again to ensure a clear solution with no sediment. The result is a clean nutrient solution, a combination of green tea and fermented bread liquid, which is very safe and effective for orchid care, helping the plants absorb nutrients well, grow healthily and stably. Next, we prepare a clean container. Then pour in the fermented breadcrumb solution mixed with green tea water to create a natural composite fertilizer. Next, I will take the orchid pot outside and water the roots and growing medium directly with a solution of a mixed fertilizer made from green tea and lightly fermented bread. This solution, when absorbed into the growing medium, will activate beneficial fermenting microorganisms, helping the orchid roots absorb nutrients better, while also improving the soil's aeration and porosity. The beneficial bacteria will inhibit and eliminate harmful bacteria, limiting the development of fungal diseases. In addition, the natural vitamins and minerals in the solution will promote strong orchid growth, healthy roots, and thick, glossy green leaves. Next, I added the remaining nutrient solution, a compound fertilizer, to the container, sealed the lid, and completed the care for the orchid pot. At this point, I watered directly into the growing medium, focusing on the base roots and the entire medium to allow the nutrients to penetrate deeply. Watering directly onto the roots and growing medium helps the root cells absorb nutrients quickly, allowing them to penetrate deeply from the bottom up, nourishing the entire stem, leaves, and flower stalks. This is the most effective way to fertilize through the roots. The orchid absorbs nutrients directly, growing strong and stable. After watering, I soak the pot in a tray like this for about 20 minutes to ensure the growing medium and roots are fully saturated with nutrients, absorb them evenly, and retain the necessary moisture. Once the roots have absorbed enough, the orchid will grow healthily, the roots will spread strongly, the leaves will be thick and green, and it will be ready to sprout flower buds. Next, after spraying and soaking for 20 minutes, I take a clean, soft cotton towel and carefully wipe the leaf tips, leaf surfaces, and especially the leaf axils of the orchid. These areas often retain excess fertilizer water. If left damp for too long, it creates conditions for mold and bacteria to grow. Therefore, it is essential to wipe them clean and dry them completely. Drying removes residual moisture from the leaves, keeping the leaf surface dry and clean, thus preventing mold and protecting the orchid. I emphasize, leaf tips and axils are vital points. Neglecting them can easily damage the plant. With this type of nutrient solution, we fertilize every 2 weeks or twice a month. This will ensure stable growth, strong roots, thick leaves, and excellent preparation for flower bud development. The best time to care for the orchid is in the morning. If it must be done in the afternoon, it must be completed before sunset so that the plant still receives sunlight and wind, which helps with photosynthesis and metabolism. Absolutely do not care for the orchid late in the evening, as this will cause waterlogging, stunted leaf growth, and make the plant susceptible to disease. After 20 minutes, I remove the orchid. At this point, the nutrients have completely absorbed into the roots and growing medium. Next, I place the plant in a well-lit, airy area so that it can continue photosynthesis, grow vigorously, develop roots and leaves, and prepare for flowering. At this stage, I move the plant to a garden with abundant natural light, but avoid direct sunlight on the leaves. So, This is the result after 4 weeks of care. Our orchids are growing noticeably, with lush, thick, clean, and glossy green leaves. The leaf surface shows a healthy wavy pattern, indicating excellent nutrient absorption. The leaves are upright, vibrant, green, and show no signs of fungal disease. Most importantly, the root system and foliage are developing evenly and healthily from base to tip. You can clearly see that the flower stalks have begun to emerge vigorously. Almost every pot is pushing out stalks. With healthy plants, strong roots, and healthy leaves, flowering is a certainty. With sufficient nutrients and proper care, the plants will produce vibrant, fresh, and long-lasting flowers. In just a few more days, these flower stalks will continue to grow longer, preparing to enter the bud development stage. Therefore, this new year, we can be completely confident of having beautiful, uniform orchids that bloom at the right time. Look at this orchid pot. The roots and leaves are very healthy. The leaves are clean, bright, shiny, and sturdy. The flower stalks are clearly developing, showing no signs of stunted or slow growth. This is the result of consistent, timely, and proper care. When we care for orchids with enthusiasm and dedication, they will be free from fungus and disease, grow steadily, and continue to produce more flower cycles. Both plants in this pot have 2 flower stalks each, with deep roots firmly embedded in the growing medium, absorbing nutrients very well. The leaf buds, flower buds, and flower stalks are all clearly developing. With just one homemade natural fertilizer, you can help your orchids thrive, with glossy green leaves, continuous new shoots, and vibrant blooms year-round. If you want your garden to always be full of beautiful flowers, don't miss this content. When the plant is grown and is developing flower spikes like this, its nutritional, water, and mineral needs increase significantly. If it remains in the small pot with the old growing medium, the roots will no longer have enough space and nutrients to nourish the plant and flowers, causing it to weaken quickly. Upon closer observation, we see that the roots have completely filled the pot, and the growing medium has been used for a long time and is beginning to decompose. If left as is, the growing medium will become moldy, the roots will be crowded, suffocated, and very prone to rot. This is a common practice in industrially grown orchids, where the growing medium is insufficient and the plant only survives for a short time. When brought to a home for long-term cultivation in a natural environment, this pot and growing medium are no longer suitable. Therefore, we need to remove the old pot, discard the outer layer, and carefully remove some of the old growing medium inside. Any decomposed or dirty growing medium should be removed to prevent fungal diseases and root rot. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to support me and so you don't miss any orchid care tips. It's great to have you as a companion on this journey. Besides English, we now have voiceovers in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on the settings gear icon to select the appropriate audio language. After removing the old potting mix, we will transfer the plant to a new pot, adding a more porous mix to allow the roots to breathe better and absorb nutrients more effectively. Next, we will treat any damaged or dead roots underground to prepare the orchid for replanting. In the next step, we use scissors to begin processing the root system. Damaged, rotten, or dead roots need to be completely removed, as these roots are no longer able to absorb nutrients and are prone to fungal diseases directly affecting the plant. Which country are you watching this video from? Let me know in the comments. It's wonderful that we can connect and chat with each other from all over the world. Which country are you watching this video from? Let me know in the comments. It's wonderful that we can connect and chat with each other from all over the world. At this point, the dormant buds on the stem will be better activated. With proper care, they may sprout new shoots or develop into flower stalks in the near future. In the next step, we will deal with this yellowed leaf. Such leaves are no longer able to photosynthesize effectively and are especially susceptible to fungal infections. If left, the disease can quickly spread to healthy leaves and even the root system. Therefore, we proactively remove this yellowed leaf completely to prevent fungal disease from developing and to help the plant concentrate nutrients on the healthy parts. After this, we will continue with the following care steps to help the orchid recover and grow steadily. Next, we will take the plant outside and thoroughly clean the entire orchid with clean water. This is a mandatory step in caring for any orchid and should not be skipped. Washing will help remove fungal diseases, dirt, and residue remaining on the leaves, roots, and base of the plant, creating conditions for better nutrient absorption in subsequent care steps. When this step is performed correctly and completely, the recovery and growth of the orchid will be more noticeable and sustainable. Therefore, we first thoroughly rinse the upper leaves. Then spray carefully into the crevices between the leaves, the base, and the roots to completely wash away any remaining mold, dust, and impurities. At this point, the cleaning process is complete. Next, we will take the plant outside and proceed with the next steps. In the next step, we will prepare a clean container, then pour in 1 liter of filtered water to get it ready for the next steps in processing and caring for the orchid. In the next step, we will use potassium permanganate solution. Potassium permanganate has antibacterial, antifungal, and insecticidal properties, making it very effective during the orchid treatment process. Here, I will add about 10 drops of potassium permanganate to a prepared container of water, then stir well until the potassium permanganate is completely dissolved. Once the solution is stabilized, we will proceed with the next steps to treat the orchid, ensuring it is disease-free and recovers optimally. In the next step, we will prepare a container and then place the entire orchid plant in it, focusing on soaking the roots and base of the orchid in the prepared solution. Next, I will use a soft cotton pad to gently wipe the entire stem and leaves of the plant, helping to remove any remaining dirt and minimizing damage to the young tissue, creating the best conditions for the orchid to stabilize and grow healthily after treatment. Wipe the top surface to remove dust and moss. Also wipe the underside of the leaves, where mold and pathogens often reside. This method ensures thorough cleaning, limiting the growth of fungi and bacteria on the orchid and its flower stems. Next, pour potassium permanganate solution into a container and soak the entire base, pseudobulbs, growing medium, and root system of the orchid. Soak the roots and base completely in the solution for about 30 minutes. This step helps to deeply disinfect, clean the roots, and prevent fungal diseases, creating a foundation for the orchid to recover and grow healthily later. In the next step, after soaking the orchid in the potassium permanganate solution for 30 minutes, it will be thoroughly disinfected and mold-free from the roots to the growing medium. At this point, we gently remove the plant from the solution. It is clear that bacteria and fungi have been cleaned, and the orchid roots appear brighter, cleaner, and healthier. After completing this treatment, we proceed to replant the orchid, ready for the next stage of care to help it recover and grow steadily. After preparation, we proceed to plant the orchid in a new pot, preferably one with plenty of drainage holes to ensure good aeration, allowing the roots to breathe properly and promoting stable plant growth. The growing medium used here is shredded pine bark, a breathable, clean, and environmentally friendly material, very suitable for orchids. It's important to note that the pine bark must be thoroughly processed before planting to remove fungi, diseases, and impurities. When planting, we first line the bottom of the pot with pine bark, then place the orchid in the correct position, keeping the stem straight. Next, add more pine bark around the base, adjusting it so that the growing medium comfortably surrounds the roots, not too tightly, but firm enough to help the plant stand upright and grow healthy. Next, we add pine bark around the base of the plant, paying attention to the process being slow and even. Then gently tap both sides of the pot so that the pine bark evenly fills the gaps, snugly embracing the orchid's root system. This method helps to secure the roots, preventing them from shifting while still ensuring the necessary aeration. Thus, we have completed planting the orchid in the pot. The plant is firmly secured, the growing medium is tightly packed inside, and it is ready for the next stage of care and recovery. Next, we cover the surface of the pot with a thin layer of pine bark mixed with moss to retain moisture. This moss helps maintain humidity at the rim of the pot, creating favorable conditions for new roots to develop and spread outwards, especially at the rim. Note that all moss and pine bark scraps must be treated before planting. When the growing medium is clean and safe, the orchid will not be susceptible to mold, will recover stably, and will grow healthier over time. After planting, we move the orchid pot to the garden, placing it in a shady, well-ventilated location. After a day, when the root system has begun to stabilize in the pot, we continue with the normal care process to help the orchid recover and grow sustainably. For the next step, I use banana peels to make fertilizer for my orchids, a very nutrient-rich natural ingredient. Banana peels contain many vitamins, potassium, and phosphorus, which are important elements that help orchids grow healthily, stimulate new shoots, and produce better flowers. Before using bananas in daily life, we should save the peels. Don't throw them away, because banana peels are a valuable source of nutrients for orchids. Next, we will cut the bananas into thin, small slices so that the decomposition and release of nutrients will occur more quickly and evenly. After processing, the chopped bananas are ready for the next steps in making natural fertilizer for orchids. Next, we prepare a clean container, then put all the processed banana peels inside. Gathering the banana peels in the container helps to concentrate and extract nutrients more effectively during the fermentation process. Next, we use flour, as it is rich in B vitamins and minerals, helping orchids recover quickly, stimulate root growth, and promote strong shoot development. Take a spoonful of flour, then add it to about 500 milliliters of hot water to dissolve, creating a base nutrient solution ready for the next step. Next, we stir the flour and banana mixture thoroughly to ensure complete dissolution, allowing the nutrients to infuse into the water. Then, we seal the container tightly and let it ferment. This solution is placed in a cool, well-ventilated area for 1 day to allow the flour and banana to gently ferment. After a day of incubation, the banana water solution has permeated and undergone mild fermentation. When a layer of white foam appears, it indicates that the fermentation is complete and perfectly beneficial for the orchid. At this point, stir the solution thoroughly once more, then filter out all the sediment. Next, we proceed to filter out all the sediment. Once the sediment has been completely removed, the remaining liquid is the nutrient solution from the fermented flour and bananas. Thus, we have obtained a complete container of nutrient solution, ready to use for caring for, restoring, and promoting healthy orchid growth. Next, add 500 milliliters of clean filtered water. Then stir well until a lightly fermented banana and flour solution is completely dissolved. Next, we return to caring for the orchid that was planted a day ago. At this point, the root system has begun to stabilize in the pot, making it the perfect time to add a nutrient solution made from lightly fermented flour and banana. I prepared a spray bottle, filled it with the nutrient solution, and proceeded to directly care for the orchid in the garden. First, I sprayed evenly on the upper surface of the leaves to clean off dust and prevent mold. Next, I've sprayed the underside of the leaves, where the solution would penetrate better and create an environment for beneficial microorganisms to thrive. This lightly fermented solution will form beneficial microorganisms, making the growing medium more porous and airy, allowing the roots to absorb nutrients more quickly and effectively. I continued spraying the roots, the base, and the flower stalks. The banana flour nutrient solution contains potassium, B vitamins, phosphorus, and nitrogen, important elements that help the orchid grow strong, develop healthy roots, thick leaves, and prepare for flowering. Next, we proceed with fertilizing the orchid. Normally, foliar fertilization helps nutrients penetrate and nourish the roots. However, in this case, I'm using a liquid compound fertilizer and applying it directly to the roots. Then, I watered the base, roots, and the entire growing medium evenly. This method helps the orchid absorb nutrients directly from the roots, pumping them up the stem and leaves, resulting in stronger and more stable growth. After watering, I soaked the pot for about 20 minutes to allow the solution to penetrate deeply into the roots and growing medium. On the Blissful Garden channel, you can also find many ways to make homemade organic fertilizers from familiar kitchen ingredients. These are not only cost-effective but also help plants grow sustainably. Next, I'll use a soft cotton pad to gently wipe the tips and surface of the leaves, removing any remaining fertilizer and preventing mold and bacteria from developing on the leaves. After this time, I removed the pot to drain, then placed the plant outdoors in a shady, well-ventilated location with gentle light, avoiding harsh sunlight to help the plant recover. Thus, after a month of care, our orchid has recovered significantly and is growing very steadily. The previously dull leaves are now bright and clean again, with a glossy, deep green surface, thicker leaves, and beautiful veins and waves. Because the plant initially lacked nutrients and was planted in a small pot, after being transferred to a larger pot, supplemented with sufficient potting mix, and properly cared for, the root system has developed strongly, penetrating deep and spreading evenly within the potting mix. As a result, the plant absorbs nutrients better, growing faster and healthier. You can clearly see that both old and new roots are growing abundantly, with strong, thick root tips firmly gripping the rim of the pot. The leaves are thick, green, and vibrant, indicating that the plant is completely stable and vigorous. In particular, the flower stalks have begun to form and develop clearly. Not only is there a main flower stalk, but the plant has also produced secondary flower stalks, showing its strong vitality. With regular, proper care and sufficient nutrients, the orchid has entered a new flowering cycle, displaying a beautiful, healthy form and promising a spectacular flowering season ahead. What do you think of my method of caring for this orchid? Don't hesitate to leave a comment and share your thoughts. I really want to hear your feedback and experiences. Every share from you is a valuable source of motivation that helps us learn and love plants more every day. I hope this video helps you better care for your orchids at home. If you find it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more simple and natural orchid care tips.